In this episode, did you have a Killjoy Christmas? Why could that be? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Astro Reader PH, and thanks for dropping by for some astrology. This video is about the astrology updates for the week of December 27 to January 2 for all signs. I hope you're all doing okay. I may be a bit late to the party, but Merry Christmas! Or Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate it. Before I move on, I just want to thank you for supporting my channel. We don't have that many people watching it, but I'm thankful for each view that I get. And I'm just excited to be able to do this each week. Now, on to our updates. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a bit dazed right now after the passage of Saturn Square Uranus this Christmas weekend. I've been going through some heavy workload in my job the past months, and we're just about to reach the end of it. So personally, I feel the gradual lifting of this heavy weight, and this somehow fits my expectations for how the last pass of Saturn Square Uranus would go. As I mentioned in my video on this transit, I do believe that these restrictions we're facing this December will gradually weaken over time. So hang on. I hope you're feeling or at least noticing this gradual release of tension as well. I also pray for another thing, that hopefully the calamities that I mentioned that go along with Saturn Square Uranus will also start to lessen. As I speak, we have some positive signs. So I hope that these continue to improve. Saturn Square Uranus is a slow moving transit, so the improvements will be gradual. So you may have found your Christmas season to be a little muted or underwhelming. For some, it could be worse than that. I hope that isn't you, though. Aside from the obvious reasons, there's some astrological explanation behind this. One reason is that Venus is still retrograde as we speak. It's in its second week now, and as I said in my Venus retrograde video, it's harder to enjoy life during this transit. Venus rules our pleasures and enjoyment after all, so when it goes retrograde, it's harder to celebrate and have fun. However, when Venus takes a step back like this, we could also have a better experience when we step back from trying so hard to enjoy. So if you chose to have a muted or understated celebration, then you may feel more satisfied than others. Another reason for any disappointing experiences may be that Jupiter is in the final degrees of Aquarius. It will be moving into Pisces this week, but more on that later. When a planet is in its late degrees, like 28 or 29, it's akin to having a last push of sorts, so its effect is intensified somehow. And so Jupiter in Aquarius is intensified this week as it prepares to change signs. As we know in astrology, Leo is related to fun, celebration, and enjoyment. Aquarius isn't generally so big on those things. Now, I'm not saying all Aquarians don't like to have fun. Of course, a lot depends on the rest of their chart. The natal chart is a really intricate and complicated thing. What I'm trying to say is that the pure thrust of Aquarian energy isn't so concerned with enjoyment. It's more of an analytical sort, finding solutions to difficult problems. Do you know the comics by Nathan Pyle that depict aliens as strangely similar to humans? That's kind of how pure Aquarius energy is. Analytical, like how we might perceive an alien. So, in short, this week we have a strong energy pointing to that tendency of being more analytical, calm, and muted. So, this isn't exactly a good energetic signature for celebration. And combined with Venus retrograde, then we have a bit of a killjoy Christmas. But like I said, the story is different if you chose to hold back on the festivities. If you set the bar low for enjoyment, then you may have enjoyed yourself more than others. Bonus points if you added some Aquarian activities to your celebrations too, like mentally stimulating board games and the like, or just having more deep and philosophical discussions with people. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I said that we'll gradually feel less tension after Saturn Square Uranus and all. That's true in the bigger scale, but we still have some hurdles every now and then. In the short term, so I gotta tell you that on the outset, it looks like we have a bit of a busy week ahead. It's Capricorn season, you see, and it's a yearly thing. You know how Cappy is like when it comes to making sure that we do what we gotta do, being professional and keeping up appearances and stuff like that. So this week, we still gotta render unto Caesar in the spirit of Capricorn season. We open up with the lunar quarter this December 27 to 28. The moon in Libra will square the sun in Capricorn on the 27th, and then the stellium of Mercury, Venus, and Pluto in Capricorn on the 28th. So for sure, this will cause some tension. Lunar quarters can be tough by themselves, but with the additional square to Mercury, Venus, and Pluto, it gets more intense. With Libra versus Capricorn energy, there could be tension through one-to-one interactions versus duties and responsibilities, or relationships versus career matters. So this is the first hurdle of the week. We could start out the week with some stress or discomfort. If you've watched my older videos, you know I always take them seriously. I mean, do you remember the 3-week long T-square we had back in November? That was really tough, and it drove a lot of people crazy. It's all that power that they push to their apex, the T-squares. You can't help but feel the pressure. And these T-squares, they can be really sneaky. I don't always notice them, to be honest. Sometimes they go past my radar. Then suddenly I'd be having an extra challenging day and I'd look into my astrology app and bam, T-square. So this week we have one of these again on December 29 to 30. This T-square involves Moon in Scorpio, Uranus in Taurus, and Saturn in Aquarius. The apex? Saturn. Same apex as the November T-square. So with this T-squares with Saturn as apex, you get a lot of pressure. There could be a lot of stress regarding duties and responsibilities. We're talking about Saturn here, so delays and challenges are possible. And these could be faced by groups, organizations, networks, or friends. But don't worry, this T-square won't last 3 weeks, just 2 days. It's the second hurdle of the week, and likely the climax of the week if you ask me. But before I get to that, I just want to quickly ask you to please like and subscribe for more astrology. Thanks. Alright, so there's something actually quite interesting about this. December 29 is also the last day of Jupiter in Aquarius. So not only will we see an emphasis on Saturn in Aquarius that day, but we'll also see the departure of Jupiter energy from Aquarius. As we know, Saturn is the natural adversary of Jupiter. Saturn is the great malefic, Jupiter is the great benefic. Saturn limits, while Jupiter expands. Saturn gives challenges or delays, while Jupiter gives opportunities. So this day, December 29, will probably present some challenges to Aquarian-related areas of our lives. So we could see some difficulties regarding groups of people, friendships, networks, communities, the internet, technology, and the like. And meanwhile, if we've been getting away with being lucky or carefree about these areas, then we could start seeing the karmic results or consequences of those actions. We could reap positive karma too if we deserve it. But again, don't worry, because there's always a silver lining. While December 29 to 30 may be challenging, there are positive astrological effects too. In the small picture, Mercury is conjunct Venus that day, so activities could be more comfortable or enjoyable. There could be activities to have fun. Communication could be charming and pleasant. Sun sextiles Moon, which is a comfortable energy that can smoothen out some rough edges. and Mars sextile Saturn, which can give us some ways and means to accomplish goals and find solutions to problems. And in the big picture, after a year of being in Aquarius, Jupiter will enter Pisces, its traditional rulership. This adds rest, creativity, spirituality, and our escape in our lives. Jupiter is comfortable in Pisces, so it will be freer to be its magnanimous and giving self. It will stay until May, then temporarily leave. This is a huge development, so I'll probably make a separate video on it. Meanwhile, I would suggest you get your mercurial affairs in order by December 29. This means any tasks or activities relating to communication, documents, logistics, short distance travels, and work or productivity matters. Mercury will enter its shadow period on December 29, which isn't so bad in itself, except that it will also go void on December 30 to January 2. So our Mercury will kinda act like a dud for those days. As I always say, when planets go void, they don't produce expected results. It's like they go into the abyss and don't work as well. So when Mercury goes void, it's best to hold back on Mercury matters. Sort of like Mercury retrograde, but not quite. The good thing is, void periods are great for mindless experimentation. It's the intent that counts, or rather the lack of it. Void periods work best when we don't aim for anything, because we can stumble upon some real breakthroughs. Not to worry, because Mercury ends the week on a strong note. Mercury enters Aquarius, its sign of exaltation, on January 2. This means that Mercury will be performing at peak level in the days after that. I gotta admit, I'm pretty excited about this development. Mercury in Aquarius is one of the best times of the year, if you ask me. It's usually a time of real productivity. And in the past, I've made some of my best predictions when Mercury was in Aquarius. So Mercury areas like communication, documents, writing, logistics, and the like, those are likely to go smoothly during Mercury in Aquarius. Just some warnings though. First, Mercury would be in its shadow phase. So even if things go smoothly, be prepared to have to go back and redo some things at a future time. Second, Mercury goes retrograde on January 14. So we'll only have less than 2 weeks of things going right. Either way, Mercury in Aquarius is a yearly treat that I always savor, and I suggest that you enjoy it too. And that's it. Thanks for watching the astrology of the week of December 26 to January 2 for all signs. Please like and subscribe. Thanks. Goodbye.